Hey everyone, Credon here. I'm making this video to update you on what myself and the other officers have been discussing lately. It regards EPGP and how we're going to be dealing with loot distribution from this point forward. A little bit is going to be a smidge controversial, but I think in the long run, it's going to be the most fair, and it'll help sustain the guild's culture and sense of fairness all the way through Nax and hopefully beyond. So this is what we're working on. We've gotten a few complaints lately about our lack of communication when it comes to the specific rules with EPGP and how we dull some of the stuff out. But let me first say that for anyone that is treating EPGP like Abyss currency, that's not what EPGP is. EPGP is a renewable resource that you guys are always occurring and are able to spend on stuff fairly regularly. A few people in the guild have a ton of EPGP, and every week it gets squished down a little more to help with, you know, EPGP growing out of control. But even if something drops that isn't BIS, but it's still an upgrade, we're sort of expecting you to roll on it. It's okay if you don't want it. It's an item. If it's okay if you don't want to spend if you like just really think the item sucks, then yeah, great. Don't spend your EPGP on it. But if something is even a little bit of an upgrade, we heavily encourage you to spend your points. So don't sit on your EPGP forever hoping to get that perfect item, because you could have been getting multiple pieces while you waited, and you still might have gotten that really great item because other people should be spending their points too. I'm saying all this because we've decided that we're going to disenchant some items a little bit more often when no one's rolling on them, because what people are starting to do is they're starting to just not roll on it and getting items for free, which isn't a bad thing, and that's not going away necessarily. But for items that are an upgrade, we want you to spend your EPGP. We don't like to disenchant anything either, but if people start waiting it out in the hopes that they don't have to spend their EPGP at all, and then spend their EPG on something else later, that starts creating a problem. We can't let that become a habit. And it's even a temptation for the officer. So it's not like we're singling anyone out. It's not like it's not like we're punishing anyone. It's nothing like that. But we have to start using our EPGP on stuff. And I burned through a lot of it this weekend, as you guys know. And I probably am not going to get anything for a long time, but that's fine. I'm glad I'm spending it. I'm glad I'm using it. So please keep in mind that EPGP is renewable. If something gets DE'd, it's hopefully it's just because seriously no one wanted it, and it wasn't even useful outside of the raid. So if you want something for any reason, whether it's an off spec or if it's only useful on AV when you're pushing the second tower, and that's the only thing that item is good for, we still want you to use your EPGP on it. You'll get more later. Just come to the raids. So hopefully we don't disenchant anything. As long as people are spending their points on it, nothing will ever get disenchanted. I still expect there to be a couple pieces we do disenchant, and that's fine. Of course, there's a few exceptions to the rule. Resistance gear will probably still have people roll on it. And you know, there's going to be exceptions. We're not going to be completely black and white, totally rigid, robotic about this. But we are encouraging people to spend more of their EPGP. We've also ironed out some details on how we're going to treat new members joining the raid for the first time, whether that's they've joined brand new to the guild and they're trying to join our raid team, or they've been in the guild for a while and they're joining our raid team. Basically, they're just going to have a lower priority from the normal roster that usually comes with on the weekends. We will give them full promotion and full privilege to use their EPGP on whatever they want after about 2 weeks, which is 300 EP, and also they have to be approved by the officers. We're also changing the base GP. It was set at 1 in the very beginning, and that was a little bit of an oversight on our part because we were still learning exactly how the system works. We're going to be changing that to 50, and the reason why we're doing this is to not allow new members to have insane amounts of EPGP early on so they can outbid long-lasting members. This will even the playing field, especially when Blackwing Lair comes out and we adjust everyone's value as a whole. Things will really balance out when that happens. I'll expand a little bit more on that Blackwing Lair thing in a moment, but I want to get through this one last thing. A lot of you guys already know that we've opened up bidding on Onyxia's head. So if you weren't sure, keep that in mind. Everyone is free to bid on the head at this point moving forward. We were originally not letting people do that because it was suggested by other people that aren't really around right now. It set a weird precedent, and it wasn't quite casual enough. So we changed that. Everyone can bid. Have fun. And the only thing we're changing about rolling on recipes is that trial members can't, or trial raiders can't. So we thought about different ways of distributing them, but you know what? We trust you guys. If you guys are at least max level in the recipe that dropped, feel free to roll on it. It's open roll. Just don't sell it on the auction house, please. And then the Blackwing Lair thing I alluded to just a moment ago. So the week before Blackwing Lair officially rolls out for us, we're going to do a much larger decay than normal. And this is to help balance things out in the new raid moving forward. So people that have acquired a ton of EPGP late in Molten Core and Onyxia here don't have a huge advantage over those that have been spending it. So if you haven't been spending it and you've been hoarding it, now is the time to spend your EPGP. The exact numbers are to be determined. Me, Dez, and Nereth have to iron out the details there, but just know that that is going to happen. That is coming. Also, Nereth has posted a little survey in guild updates. Blackwing Lair lands on Valentine's Day, which is a little odd. I don't know if many people really care. I personally want to keep raiding that day. But if you don't, let us know, and maybe we can make an adjustment. It's okay if we don't do Blackwing Lair the very first weekend, but I really, really want to. So if you guys are cool with it, we're going to push on like normal. And also don't forget, starting this coming weekend is the new adjustment to the raid schedule. So both nights, 8 p.m. server time. So don't forget, I'm going to make a post in Discord, and you heard it here, and I also made it the guild message of the day. All right? Okay, guys, give me some feedback. Let me know what you think about all this, and I'll talk to you soon.